They thought she was embarrassing herself on TikTok. They had no idea they were watching the birth of a millionaire. In the small Nigerian village of Agbonile, where the red earth clung to slippers like stubborn gossip and the morning air smelled of wood smoke and dew, lived a grandmother named Mama Adoney. Mama Adoney was around 70 years old, but her spirit still stood taller than her back. Her knees complained like old generators, her palms were rough from years of farm work, and her eyes had the sharpness of a woman who had seen hunger, joy, loss, and prayer, sometimes all in the same week. She shared a modest 2-room house with her daughter Bisi and her granddaughter, Tomiwa. Bisi was a hard-working woman, the kind who could carry a bucket on her head and still argue with destiny at the same time. She sold snacks and small household items at the roadside market, pure water sachets, bread, ground nuts, chin-chin, detergents, moving from stall to stall like a determined spirit. People called her a hustler, but Bisi called herself a survivor. And Tomiwa, only 18, was in secondary school. She was bright, quick, and always scribbling something in a notebook, classwork, dreams, or sometimes secret little plans of how she might escape village life and become somebody in the city. They were not the poorest family in the village. They managed, they ate, they paid school fees, sometimes late, but paid. Yet, for Mama Adoney, the hardest part wasn't money. It was time. Because every morning when the sky was still blue-black and the chickens were still yawning, Mama Adoney would wrap her faded Ankara wrapper tight, tie her headscarf like armor, and head to the farm with her hoe. Bisi would often beg her, "Mama, please rest, I can handle it." But Mama Adoney always answered the same way. "If I rest too much, my mind will start thinking. Let me work so my heart will not break me." Truthfully, she went to the farm to help them, yes, but also because she felt like her life was already closing like evening. She had dreams, ridiculous dreams, the kind you don't say out loud because people will laugh and call you mad. Mama Adoney wanted to become a millionaire. Not because she wanted to be proud, not because she wanted to insult anybody, but because she had spent her youth struggling and her old age still struggling, and something in her whispered, "Will you leave this world without ever tasting ease?" Sometimes, when she was alone on the farm, she would pause, lean on her hoe, and stare into the distance like she was watching another life. One where she lived in a house with clean tiles, where Bisi didn't have to hawk under hot sun, where Tomiwa had a laptop and didn't borrow textbooks from classmates. Then she would sigh and whisper, "But it's too late. I am old. Who will help me? Who will notice me?" One Monday morning, on her way to the farm, Mama Adoney passed the village borehole where women often gathered to fetch water and trade news. As she walked, she heard 2 women behind her, Sade and Ngozi, talking loudly, as if their mouths had no volume control. "I'm telling you, that boy in Lagos just became rich," Sade said. Ngozi scoffed. "Rich how? Did he steal?" "No. He was just doing nonsense on his phone. Dancing, talking, making funny faces. Now he's making dollars." Mama Adoney froze mid-step like someone had pressed a pause button. "Dollars," she repeated, turning slowly. The women saw her and laughed politely. "Good morning, Mama Adoney." Mama Adoney leaned closer, eyes wide. "My daughters, did you say dollars entered someone's pocket from dancing?" Ngozi nodded like it was the most normal thing in the world. "Yes, Mama. TikTok pays people. Plus gifts, plus brand deals, people are making dollars. Mama Adunni's mouth opened and closed like a fish in surprise. Wait, you mean the money with big presidents on it? The one they call dollars? Yes, Mama. Mama Adoney pressed her hand to her chest dramatically. So somebody can just be turning body up and down and money is entering without farm work? Said laughed. Mama, it's social media. It's the new world. Mama Adunni's brain started running. Not walking. Running. She didn't even remember to greet properly. She started walking fast, faster than her knees liked, heading home as if the village chief had summoned her. When she reached the house, she found Tomiwa in her school uniform, adjusting her tie in front of a small mirror. Tomiwa! Mama Adoney shouted. Tomiwa jumped. Grandma? What's wrong? Mama Adoney grabbed her arm gently. My daughter, come and sit. I want you to put that app, that thing that brings dollars, inside my phone. Tomiwa blinked. Which app? Mama Adoney struggled with the name. That one they call Tiki Taki Tokoto, or Tiki Tokiti, the one where young people are doing shoulder like this. She shook her shoulders stiffly like a wooden puppet. And dollars are entering. Tomiwa stared for 2 seconds, then burst out laughing. Grandma, you mean TikTok? Yes, that one. TikTok. But I like my own name better. Tiki Taki Tokoto. Install it. Tomiwa's laughter faded into confusion. Grandma, why do you want TikTok? Mama Adoney straightened her wrapper proudly. Because I want to be a millionaire. If small boys can be making dollars by dancing, then my old legs can also dance. Tomiwa opened her mouth to refuse, but she saw something in her grandmother's eyes, hope mixed with stubbornness. It wasn't a joke to Mama Adoney. It was a door. So Tomiwa took Mama Adoney's phone, an old smartphone with a cracked corner, and installed TikTok. She helped her create an account. What should we call your username? Tomiwa asked. Mama Adoney thought hard. Call me Grandma Adoney Official. Put official, so they will know I am serious. Tomiwa smiled. Okay, Grandma Adoney Official. They set up the profile picture, Mama Adoney with her headscarf and a proud smile. Then Tomiwa tried to explain. Grandma, you need to record videos. You post them. If people like it, you get followers. Then money can come later. How later? Mama Adoney demanded. Tomiwa shrugged. It can take time. Mama Adoney nodded like a commander accepting a mission. Then we start now. They cleared a small space in the living room. Tomiwa placed the phone on a plastic stool. Mama Adoney stood in front of it like she was about to address the United Nations. What should I do? Mama Adoney asked. Tomiwa hesitated. Maybe just be yourself, say something funny, or dance a little. Mama Adoney took a deep breath and began to dance. Small steps, stiff knees, shoulders shaking like she was trying to chase away invisible mosquitoes. She added her own commentary, too. Good morning, my children. This is Grandma Adoney. If you want to make dollars, follow me. If old age is worrying you, don't worry. My age is not your problem. Tomiwa giggled and ended the recording. They watched the video. It was chaotic. Mama Adoney danced like she was arguing with the air. Her wrapper almost slipped once. The audio had a strange echo. And at some point, Mama Adoney leaned too close to the camera so only her forehead filled the screen. Tomiwa covered her face. Grandma, people will laugh. Mama Adoney waved her hand dismissively. Let them laugh. Laughter is free advertisement. So Tomiwa posted it. The first hour, 3 views. Second hour, 8 views. By night, 19 views. Mama Adoney kept knocking on Tomiwa's door every few minutes. Check again. Maybe the dollars are entering slowly. Tomiwa sighed. Grandma, dollars don't enter like rain. The next day at school, Tomiwa's classmates had already seen the video, because in a village, news traveled faster than Wi-Fi. "Your grandma is on TikTok!" one boy shouted, laughing. A group of girls mocked the dance. "She's doing mosquito punishment challenge." Tomiwa tried to ignore them, but her cheeks burned with embarrassment. That same evening, Bisi returned from the market and found Mama Adoney practicing dance steps in the courtyard, serious like a soldier. "Mama," Bisi said carefully, "what is this?" Mama Adoney pointed at the phone proudly. "I have entered the internet business." Bisi frowned. "Internet business?" "Tiki-taki tokoto," Mama Adoney announced. "It will make me a millionaire." Bisi stared at Tomiwa. Tomiwa raised both hands like she was innocent. She insisted. Bisi sighed deeply. "Mama, people will talk. They will say you're too old for this." Mama Adoney lifted her chin. "Let them talk. Their mouths are not paying my bills." And from that day, Mama Adoney became unstoppable. Every morning, farm. Every afternoon, practice. Every night, record. She danced. She told funny village stories. She scolded lazy destiny on camera. She acted out market dramas like a comedian. She even did motivational speeches that sounded like threats. "My children, if you don't work hard, poverty will sit on your neck like stubborn goat." People laughed, especially at first. But Mama Adoney didn't stop. Because deep inside her, she had decided something. If this world could make room for young people to become rich with phones, then it could also make room for an old woman with a dream. And then, one night, something changed. Tomiwa posted a video of Mama Adoney dancing in the courtyard while the neighbor's goat tried to copy her steps. The caption read, "Grandma said she will make dollars before the goat learns manners." They slept. But the phone did not sleep. It began to vibrate, over and over. Notifications started pouring in like rain on a zinc roof. Tomiwa sat up in bed, confused. Then, she grabbed the phone, opened TikTok, and her eyes widened. "Grandma," she whispered. "Oh my God." Because the video wasn't at 19 views anymore. It was at 50,000, and it was still climbing. Tomiwa's hands started shaking as she refreshed the screen. 70,000, 92,000, 110,000, 150,000. The numbers climbed so fast it felt unreal, like someone had mistakenly attached a celebrity's account to Grandma Adoney official. "Grandma!" Tomiwa sprinted into the next room, nearly tripping over a bucket. "Wake up! Your video it's exploding!" Mama Adoney jerked awake, headscarf slightly crooked. "Exploding? Who died?" "Nobody died. Look, people are watching you." Mama Adoney took the phone and squinted. 150,000? Tomiwa nodded, breathless. "And comments! So many comments!" Mama Adoney's eyes widened so much her lashes looked like they wanted to escape. "Ah, so this is how fame enters?" They scrolled. "Protect this grandma at all costs. She dances like she's fighting poverty in real time. This is the best thing on my For You page. Grandma said dollars and meant it. Nigeria is blessed. Goat is her backup dancer." Mama Adoney pressed the phone to her chest. "God of unexpected blessing, you remembered me?" Then The live gifts started coming. At first, it was little icons and funny emojis. Tomiwa didn't even understand it until she clicked the notifications and saw the amount accumulating, small at first, then bigger again. "Grandma," Tomiwa whispered slowly, "people are sending you gifts, and it converts to money." Mama Adoney stared. "Money? As in dollars?" "Yes, Grandma, dollars." Mama Adoney stood up so fast her knees protested loudly. "Bring my wrapper. Today we are not sleeping." By morning, the entire village knew something strange had happened. When Mama Adoney stepped outside, neighbors were already gathered near the gate like it was a wedding ceremony. "Mama Adoney!" someone shouted. "Do the dance!" A young man brought a ring light and held it like a sacred object. "Mama, please just greet my sister in Abuja." A woman selling pepper murmured, Ah, so this is the same Mama Adoney that we used to see in the farm?" Bisi came out of the house, eyes wide, and nearly dropped her market basket. "What is going on?" Tomiwa whispered. "Mummy, Grandma is viral." Bisi looked at Mama Adoney like she was seeing her mother for the first time. "Viral? Mama, what did you do?" Mama Adoney smiled calmly and waved at the crowd like a politician. "My children, don't push yourselves. There is enough Grandma for everybody." By noon, the video had crossed 2 million views. By the next day, it was at 6 million. And then something even bigger happened. An email came. Tomiwa opened it and gasped. "Grandma, a brand wants to work with you." Mama Adoney frowned. "Brand? Is it a soap?" "It's a company. They want you to promote their hair scarf, and they are offering money." "How much?" Tomiwa read it twice to be sure. $5,000. Bisi's mouth fell open. 5,000 for scarf? Mama Adoney blinked slowly. "So I will just wear scarf and talk, and dollars will enter?" Tomiwa laughed. "Yes, Grandma." Mama Adoney sat down hard on a plastic chair. Then she started laughing too, deep belly laughter that sounded like rain hitting a roof. "I suffered on the farm for years," she said between laughs, "and dollars were hiding inside scarf this whole time." That was the beginning. More brands came. A phone company, a food seasoning brand, a small bank offering her an ambassador deal, even a Lagos clothing line that wanted her to model Ankara outfits. Mama Adoney became a national sensation. People started calling her Grandma Dollars. Her signature greeting, "My children, don't worry, dollars are patient," became a trend. Teenagers copied her dance, mothers stitched her videos, Nigerians abroad reposted her content with captions like, "This is the Nigeria I miss." And Tomiwa became the proud manager, without even planning it. At school, the same classmates who mocked her now begged her, "Please tell your grandma to follow me back. Please help me go viral too." One girl even apologized. "I'm sorry I laughed. Your grandma is legendary." Tomiwa smiled politely, but inside she felt something powerful. Pride. Meanwhile, Bisi's life started changing too. Mama Adoney didn't wait for a perfect moment. She moved fast. First, she bought Bisi a small shop at the roadside. Real shelves, a signboard, proper stock. No more walking under sun with heavy baskets. Then she paid Tomiwa's school fees for the rest of the year, early, with confidence. When Tomiwa saw the receipt, she almost cried. "Grandma, you did this for me?" Mama Adoney patted her cheek. "My daughter, I did not become Grandma Dollars to be forming fine. We must use it." But Mama Adoney didn't stop at her own house. One evening, while scrolling through comments, she noticed something. Many people were laughing. Yes, but many were also saying, "My mom is struggling. I can't pay my fees. We need help. Grandma, please pray for me." Mama Adoney stared at the screen for a long time. Then she said softly, "If God used my foolish dance to lift me, then my dance must lift others too." The next week, she posted a new video. She stood in the courtyard, serious, wearing her brightest wrapper. Tomiwa recorded, "My children," Mama Adoney said, "today is not only dancing, today is giving." She announced a challenge, Grandma Blessing Day. She asked people to comment their struggles, widows who needed business money, students who needed fees, families who needed hospital bills. BC panicked. "Mama, are you sure? People will scam you." Mama Adoney waved her hand. "Even if 10 people lie, 1 person will be true. I will not close my heart because of fear." Tomiwa helped her organize it properly. They asked for proof, did video calls, and selected real cases. Then Mama Adoney began to give, like a Nigerian Mr. Beast, but with headscarf and village wisdom. She paid school fees for 5 students, $2,000 total. She gave a widow $1,000 to restart her food business. She bought sewing machines for 2 girls who wanted to learn tailoring. She donated to the village clinic for medicines. When she handed the nurse a package with money and supplies, the nurse shook her head in disbelief. "Mama Adoney, why are you doing this?" Mama Adoney smiled. "Because I know what it means to suffer quietly, and because sometimes all a person needs is one small push." Her followers doubled again, not just because she was funny, but because she was real. The day she hit 1 million followers, Tomiwa ran around the house screaming. BC cried, neighbors danced, even the village pastor used her as an example in church. But Mama Adoney? She stayed calm. That night, she sat outside on her chair, looking at the stars. Tomiwa sat beside her. "Grandma, you actually became what you said. You became a millionaire." Mama Adoney nodded slowly. "Yes." Tomiwa hesitated. "So, what's the secret?" Mama Adoney smiled and held Tomiwa's hand. "The secret is that most people die before they die," she said. "They stop trying because they think time has finished. But as long as you can breathe, destiny is still listening." Tomiwa's eyes watered. "You didn't care when people laughed." Mama Adoney chuckled. "My daughter, if you wait for people to clap before you start, you will remain seated forever." The next day, Mama Adoney went live on TikTok. Thousands joined instantly. Hearts flooded the screen. The comments moved too fast to read. Mama Adoney adjusted her headscarf and spoke clearly. "My children, listen to Grandma Dollars. Your dream can look foolish. People can laugh. They laughed at me too. They said I am old. They said it is shame." She paused, eyes shining. "But today, the same thing they called shame became my blessing." The comment section exploded with hearts. "Age does not stop destiny," she continued. "If your dream is dancing, dance. If your dream is business, start small. If your dream is school, study. If your dream is content, post it. Don't let fear lock your life." She raised her finger like a village elder giving final instruction. "And remember, just because you are late does not mean you are finished." Then she smiled wide. "Now, everybody say it with me. Dollars are patient." The whole live chat repeated it in caps. And as the screen filled with laughter and love, Mama Adoney danced, slowly, proudly, no longer fighting mosquitoes, but celebrating victory. Because Grandma Adoney had done the impossible, she had turned a silly dream into a real life, and she had proved something the village would never forget. Your dream is valid, no matter how crazy it sounds. I hope you enjoyed the story. If so, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more interesting and exciting tales.